Hey guys, welcome back into Casey's Kitchen here at Boots and Bounty Homestead. Today it is time for us to put some kale away. It's fall time and my dad has a whole field of well, it's a raised garden bed, but it's a pretty good size one, full of kale that we have went out and picked some, and I want to make some kale chips with. Now, he has the curly leaf variety, and the radishes you see back here in the box, we're sitting on top of them and got them dirty. Otherwise, they would be clean. I don't see any bugs or anything on them, just dirty now. So what I'm going to do to get started is I'm going to put this whole bag here of the kale leaves in some cold water. 1, to keep them crisp, and then 2, to go ahead and rinse them off. And I will put a little bit of vinegar in the water just to kill any bugs or insects that may be hiding in these little curly leaves, which usually never is, but you never know. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in the sink here and let them soak probably for about 30 minutes or so. And then we've got to drain them out, lay them out on a towel or paper towels or something to let them dry. And that way we can make them into kale chips after a while. So I'm going to go ahead and get them in the sink and I'll be right back. So you probably saw this in the bag as well. Whew, gracious. This is one of my dad's loofahs, and I will throw a picture up here of Logan standing in the loofah tunnel. And this is one that Logan cut off yesterday using Daddy's knife. He cut it off, and it is it's dry. And so he just wanted to cut one and bring it home. There's like hundreds more out there. But just wanted to show you that. That's what that is. I'm going to go ahead and put some more water in here. But I'm going to also put some vinegar in. Probably about 1/4 cup. And I'm just going to fill it up and let them soak. Alright guys, so YouTube real life is the next day. And I'm going to show you what to do with these kale chips. Now we've got them all washed, and of course mine set in towels overnight. They're still a little damp, but that's okay. We're going to drizzle these with olive oil or canola oil, whatever oil that you prefer. Avocado oil, doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and preheat the oven to, you can do 250 or 275. It really doesn't matter. I've seen some people go all the way up to like 375, 400, even 425. You can play with this and see what best fits your oven, your preference. We're going to heat the oven to 275 and we'll see how it goes. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and get out my 2 trays. I'll make sure both of these fit in my oven because I've never used 2 of these before. If they don't, nope, they're not. I'm going to have to use my one big one. Got my one big pan out. Now, if you want to try kale chips plain by themselves at first, that is fine. And then you can season from there if you would like. So we're going to drizzle these probably with the rest of the oil that's in this container. And then we've got to massage it into our kale leaves to get it everywhere, in every nook and cranny. So just kind of toss them around, push them down, rub them a little bit. Now you can also lay these out on the sheet and do it that way if you would like, but you need oil or some kind of fat hydration on all of your chips. And while you're doing this, you can go ahead and take off some of the pieces and lay them on your tray, because you want to get rid of the rib or the stem, this thick part. You want to get rid of that. You can give it to the chickens or something. But just make sure you rub all over it real good. And start laying them out. I like the bigger chips. Like the 3, 4, 5 inch chips. I don't care for the smaller ones, because if you've ever had kale chips and you've had some really good ones, they will almost disintegrate as soon as they hit your tongue. And so I like the bigger ones, because there's more that you can, you know, feel in your mouth. But that's all up to you and your preference. And just as you lay them out, just roll. Okay, so after you get your tray full, and you want a single layer, you don't want to overcrowd the pan, because you need the heat to evenly disperse over your chips or your leaves, and not to be soggy in one place and crispy in another, or frankly just burn sometimes. So our oven is ready. I'm going to go ahead and stick these in the oven. We're going to start checking them at about 20 minutes. And they should be done between 20 and 30 minutes, depending on the doneness that you prefer. So I'm going to stick these in the oven, and I'll be back in 20 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and massage these, get all the oil everywhere. And that way, as soon as those are done, I can go ahead and take them out and then put these on that sheet and do another round, because it does take a little time to do. So I'll see you guys in a bit. One thing I forgot to do and forgot to tell you guys, go ahead and put a little bit of salt on there. So after you get them laid out, just sprinkle salt all over them generously and then bake them. So hang tight, we'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, I cheated a little bit, I had to peek. Glad I did. 15 minutes in, and as I am moving some of these around, they are done. And I noticed, this is what caught my eye, is some of these were having the brown spots right there in the middle. And I didn't want them to burn, because when they burn, they get bitter. So I checked them. Most of them are done. There's a couple that I kind of picked up and set on end, so that way they can kind of finish letting the steam come out of them, because really that's all it is you're dehydrating these in the oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off and put them on cookie cooling racks, and they can finish cooling while I go ahead and start the next batch. Okay, so I had just a few that I wasn't just 100% ready to eat them. So I've got just a few here. I'm going to stick back in the oven for probably about the remainder of the 5 minutes. And then I'll take those out, put them on the cooling sheet, and then I'll restart the next process. Alright, so we've got them all finished up, and even I had a wardrobe change because this stove gets really hot in here. That sweater was not working. So, I've got all the kale chips done, and I'm going to turn the oven and everything off. Now with kale chips, you can season them, you know, with garlic or onion powder. do like a taco mix or something like that. I mean, you can play around with it so many ways and get different flavored kale chips. So get on YouTube and get on Pinterest and find you some different ideas for seasonings. I just wanted to give you a basic recipe so that you can fix your kale chips, and then you can experiment after that and make them your own, because it is the season for kale. So we'll see you next time, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!